Rosie instant reaction to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
This is maybe like one of the funnest MCU movies. Like I feel like Sam Raimi was like, Sam goes ham. Like he was just doing everything. I think if people were worried it's not going to be a Sam Raimi movie, worry no more. That's not a spoiler, but it's true.
We're stepping out of the sling-ring portal and onto the beautiful steps of the mystical city of Kamar-Taj to discuss Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, now in theaters. We're going to start with a spoiler-free conversation, just our kind of gut-level reactions to the movie, and we will start with that now. Rosie, what'd you think of the movie in a non-spoiler fashion for the people who may have not seen it yet?
If you haven't seen it, I will not spoil it. I will say you should go and see it. I really had so much fun with this movie. I think it's one of the most fun MCU movies. I think it's a great Sam Raimi movie. I think it made me feel like I was flipping through a comic book issue. Like I'd picked up a random issue of comics and I was flipping through and I was like, whoa, I'm here, I'm there, the paneling, the kind of the splash page, like, and it had this heavy metal goth rock Zero's energy. I feel like Sam Raimi brought his best Spider-Man movies kind of aesthetic to it. I had a ton of fun, and I'm really excited to see how it lands for people. Because for me, I was just like, I was all in. How about you?
Same. Do you like Sam Raimi's horror oeuvre, including Evil Dead 1 and 2 and Armies of Darkness and Darkman? Do you enjoy the original Spider-Man trilogy? Most notably Spider-Man 1 and 2, great classics by the great Sam Raimi. Do you enjoy Sam Cam? Do you enjoy comic book action? Do you enjoy Marvel Magic? Who, by the way, let me just say, Marvel MCU Magic fans, a different breed of MCU fan, and I love them.
Yes.
Do you like really wild set pieces that you legitimately have not been seen before in the context of a Marvel Comics movie? You'll like this. I think that there are certainly the emotional stakes are different because it's mostly from his relationship with his own moral code and his burgeoning relationship with America, and also Wong just being a badass.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm in the tank for Sam Raimi. I'm in the tank for Marvel Magic. I really had a great time.
I thought it was
super fun.
I thought it was brilliant. Something that we talk about a lot because it's the way we look at this stuff, right? You can have these movies for everyone, and that's not just in a scope of representation or characters that you like or don't like. I think we live in a world where there should be a comic book movie, and there can be a comic book movie when there's 5 of them coming out a year or whatever, that just feels like you're picking up a comic book. To me, this is like me and you wandered down to secret headquarters and we both picked out a 25-cent quarter bin issue, because that's what I wish still happened in every comic shop. But you pick out that back issue and you read it. Maybe, we know all these characters because this is our thing. But even if you didn't, I love the way that this felt like that. It felt like you were on an adventure that felt like an old 40s serial. It felt like you could just jump in and out. I thought something really cool was the way that America was introduced as a wholly rounded character.
Yeah,
you knew her, and she had a backstory. She had a power. She existed in her own world, and she came into ours. I thought this arc for Wanda was actually brilliant, and I think it's really very much equivalent to what happens in the comics, where she gets this sort of deep character arcs that make you really care about her, and she has this human moments, and then by editorial edict or creator choice, that's all blown up and she's evil. She goes from good to bad, and her powers become incredibly powerful or not at all powerful, and she's a mother living in the suburbs, and she's a universe creating woman. And to me, this felt very much in that vein.
Rosie, where do you rank Multiverse of Madness in your Phase 4 power rankings, including the shows?
Okay, so it's hard. It's kind of hard for me to disregard recency bias because that was just so fun. So I do
Yeah,
think,
I
like,
literally just came.
we just came out of the movie. It is like you're in there and people are like screaming. I screamed at one specific part. I'm sure anyone who was in my theater was probably like, I know that was Rosie because I was the only person who responded. It's pretty high up. I put like No Way Home and this next to each other at the moment at my top, along with WandaVision. That's like my kind of top bar, and then it's like Eternals. Everyone knows I love that. And then you get more into like the Loki. Hawkeye actually probably above Loki, but this is really at the top for me because I just thought it was like a comic book. It was like watching a comic book on the screen.
It is. It begins and continues and then ends just like an issue of a comic book. For me, I have the same ranking. I go No Way Home, then I'll go Doctor Strange, and then I would do like WandaVision, Loki, Eternals, and then yada yada yada. Where do we stand on Far From Home? Is Far From Home Phase 4? I guess technically it feels like 3 1/4 or something.
3 1/4. You know, in the old days they would like release the X-Men. It'd be like X-Men 2.0, and it's like two of them together in a documentary. I feel like Far From Home is the in between.
Well, it was super exciting, fun time at the theater. Man, I had a great time.
It was so fun.
It was super fun.
What was it? You went to the premiere. What was it like? Were people like losing it and going off?
Okay, so the people were going off. It was really cool, actually. So one thing I will say, I would put the mask rate at about 10%. I was in the 10. That's okay. Listen, I didn't love that, but I was in a mask, and others were too, but not a lot. Who was around me? I saw Tony Revolori, aka Flash Thompson, was sitting in my section.
Great casting.
Leah McHugh, who plays Sprite in the Eternals movie, was quite close. Oh, Tara Strong, who
voice acting icon.
A voice acting icon in many things, including many video games, and of course Miss Minutes from the Loki television program on Disney Plus.
I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up before you stand trial for your crimes.
And then Frank Grillo and his son,
aka Crossbones.
AKA Crossbones, one of the best looking 54-year-old men that we've ever seen. He was also in my section, and that was it. And a lot of like very like internet-y people. There was like a comedian that I follow on TikTok, who I couldn't figure out like why they were there, but it was really cool and weird to see them in person. And I had a suit on, so I did that right. And it was a fun vibe. Like it was.
Did it get the big reactions?
We got the big reactions because they had, I think very wisely for vibes, had invited like a lot of hardcore Marvel fans and specifically like cosplay people. Like they were doing, on the red carpet interviews with the stars, but also just like fans. And they had talked to some Wanda cosplayers who had come like from Germany and Switzerland and different places.
I came all the way from Germany.
And I'm coming from Switzerland.
Oh my goodness! Wow. So
there were like a lot of real real big fans and figures in the fan community. So like there was a vibe, and there were people like who knew Marvel Comics lore, and that was really really fun. It was a great vibe, very enjoyable. It's super weird to be in that environment, but I enjoyed it. I had a great time, and I can't wait for everybody to see it and hopefully listen to this podcast and talk about it with us whenever they see it. A big thank you to Rosie Knight for joining us on X-Ray Vision. Rosie, this is the time where you tell people where they can find your stuff. What do you have to plug? Where is it all? Tell us about Godzilla one more time.
You can pre-order Godzilla now if you go to my Instagram page, which is Rosie Marks, or you Google my name. I have a website and you can pre-order the comic. You can go to your local comic shop and you can start a pull list to support your local comic shop with this book on it. You can hear me here, of course. I have a letterboxd, which I'm actually updating. I've done some pretty funny reviews recently where I'm not allowed to say anything, so I just like posted funny YouTube videos. And yeah, that's all the good stuff. And I'm just so happy I got to talk to you about this movie because it was so much fun.
Super fun.